My husband pressured me into opening up our relationship. Now his girlfriend is dead and he might be involved. My husband and I had been married for 3 years when he told me he wasn't satisfied intimately. My mother had died a few months ago and I knew I'd been less interested in intimacy since then, so it wasn't really a surprise. I told him I just needed a little more time, but he told me that he couldn't keep waiting and feeling unwanted. His solution was that we should temporarily open our relationship. I didn't feel great about that because obviously I wasn't interested in dating anyone else, since I couldn't even keep up with him. But he kept stressing that this was what he needed to feel secure about himself, so I gave him. He started dating pretty soon after that. We had a don't ask, don't tell policy for a while, as long as he was safe, so I didn't know many details about what he was doing when he wasn't home, and I liked it that way. But what was supposed to be temporary never ended. Even after years passed and our intimacy life was back to normal, he was still seeing girls on the side. Eventually I became aware that he was in a serious relationship with a girl named Amanda. That wasn't against the rules or anything, but I was still a little sad to know he wasn't just having casual intimacy and there were actually feelings involved. I never met Amanda, but I'd see her texts on his phone sometimes, and one night in a fit of jealousy I found her Instagram because I wanted to see what she looked like. She was very pretty but definitely seemed to be involved in partying and generally a pretty wild lifestyle. Last month, I came home from work and my husband was in bed with the lights off. I asked him if he was sick, and when he sat up I could tell that he'd been crying. He said, "Amanda's dead." I immediately felt very awkward. I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and gave him a hug, but I didn't know what to say after that. Obviously I wasn't happy that this poor girl had died, but comforting him felt really out of pocket, especially since we'd never had an actual conversation about Amanda before this. Since then, my husband has been extremely depressed. He keeps calling out from work, and he's not doing any of his chores around the house. He doesn't want to do anything with me and he isn't interested in intimacy at all. I get that he's grieving, but this is such a weird situation for me. My friends all want to know what's wrong with him, but none of them know we have an open relationship, so there's not much I can tell them. And it's not like I can tell my parents. He's still sad about his dead girlfriend, when they ask me why he's missed yet another dinner at their house. On top of all that, I started looking into the details of how Amanda died, and there are a few things that aren't adding up. He told me it was an accidental overdose, but from what I can tell online, the investigation is still open and the police suspect there may have been foul play. My husband said it happened at a party and he wasn't there, but I checked my texts and he wasn't home that night. I guess it's possible he was somewhere else, but when I asked him where he was that night he gave me a look and said, "I was home with you." So that's weird. It's not that I thought my husband killed this girl, but I wonder if he knew more than he was telling me. Everything came to a head last night when the police came to our door. They said they had a warrant to search through my husband's phone and computer and brought him and his belongings to the police station. I don't know how word got out, but now my friends and my parents are calling me constantly asking me what's going on and what my husband did. I've managed to dodge their calls for now, but I can't keep this up forever. I thought telling them my husband had a girlfriend would be bad, but this is something else altogether.